Today we're going to talk about what it could look like if you are listing your home in Kitchener-Waterloo, all the tips and tricks and things that I like to do a little differently to make my sellers' return on investment the biggest it can be. Hi, my name is Cheryl Goetz. I'm a realtor and designer in Kitchener-Waterloo. I'm the founder of At Home Company. We help you design, renovate, buy, sell, invest, all things home in Kitchener-Waterloo, while also giving you tips and tricks on how to live your best life in KW because it is an amazing community. Okay, let's dive in. First things first, when selling your home, you need to declutter, improve, clean, and stage, okay? First step, declutter. Get a lot of stuff put away. So I love to give my clients 5-10 Rubbermaid bins and be like, listen, if you don't need it between now and selling the house, put it in this bin, stack it neatly in a garage, in a storage room, or just donate it. Just get rid of it. Part of decluttering is also depersonalizing. People do not want to come into your home and see your family photos. They want to come into the home and picture what it's like for their family to live in it. Some people are also like a-holes. So if you have your family photos up or like photos of you and stuff, and they're judgmental human beings, like don't give them a reason to judge you as a seller or judge your house thinking like you could be living in it in a certain way, okay? It's just best to like erase yourself from the house. Now I do have a professional organizer on my team who I love to gift to clients who want or need her help, and it makes the world of a difference and they absolutely love working with her. She's a gem of a human being. One thing that I always like to do as well that might take things to the next level is get things off the floor, even in the closets. So even if that means like everything on the floor in the closet is just put into one bin, or like you get 2 pretty baskets from HomeSense and like that's your chuck it baskets for the listing process and the showing process of your home, that's fine. But the more stuff that is not on your floor, the bigger your home feels, and the more the buyer feels like you take a lot of pride and a lot of care into your home, and therefore they're gonna give you more money for it, okay? It's a no-brainer. So next is improve. I usually walk through the home and I say, hey, like if you have the budget or you have the time, I would love those dated kitchen handles to be swapped out for something more modern, like this one, or this one. Here's a great cheap place that you can get it. Little things like that. Maybe there's a bathtub that it is very evident needs to be replaced. Replace it. I know it's like an upfront cost, but if depending on the demographic that you're trying to reach with the sale of your home, if it's not a total flip, a total gut house, replace it. People don't want things to be added to their to-do list when buying the house or cost, because they also see that tub and they're like, well, what's wrong behind that tub? Like what if there's a bunch of leaks, right? So improvements are key. I like to break them down into like priority 1, cheapest and easiest, priority 2, priority 3, depending on how much bang you want for your buck, how much time we have, your budget, etc. Next is clean. Everybody loves a clean house. It gives the illusion, not necessarily the illusion, but it gives the idea again that you are a proud homeowner that takes a lot of care of your home. And so if it's super dirty, they're gonna think, well, if they don't even clean their home, did they replace their air conditioner when it get broke? Did they replace shingles when they blew off? You know, things like that, right? That's what the buyer's mind is going to. So I have an amazing cleaner on my team that sometimes I love to gift clients. She goes in there for a couple hours, makes it sparkle. It just takes something off of their plate because listing can already be such a stressful time. Next up in that pre-listing to-do list is to stage. So, you know, and some of my clients, I've never staged their house because they just keep it like super modern, super trendy. It's gonna photograph great. But I would say most clients, I stage their house, and it just pulls at some heartstrings of the buyer It makes them really picture themselves living there. It adds to the photography of the house. It can create certain vibes, ambiances to the house. You know, properly staged, people can walk in and the house feels brighter, bigger, and they instantly feel calmer in it. And who doesn't want that when they're gonna buy this new house, right? So after all of those things are done, I hire a professional photographer and videographer. We take gorgeous photos inside and out. Sometimes if it's depending on the house and the lot, I like aerial photos. Sometimes I also do some nighttime photos. So you can see if the house is like beautifully lit up at night, that really appeals to some buyers. And if my clients are thinking about listing, I would say like October to May, then I will preemptively get those outdoor photos done in late spring or the middle of summer. Like just basically as soon as you tell me, it's based on that best time. So if you tell me in May, we're thinking about listing in November, then probably like in June or July, after we clean up the outside, it looks the best. The trees are the fullest, the backyard looks the most private, we'll get those photos done, okay? And you don't have to worry about the inside of the house. You can worry about that later, the cleaning and the decluttering, because I'll just get that photographer back at that time and do that then, okay? Video marketing is huge. It's the future. Every listing should have at least one video associated with it. I like to lean towards like lifestyle type videos because those are really trendy on Instagram, for example. You know, the typical listing videos, they are nice when you want like a feeling of like you're physically walking through the house. But if you're just doing that, it's not going to be seen at as many people. So my next point is like repetitive marketing. So if you have that, you know, go-to listing video, I also like to add the lifestyle videos so I can share them on social media, and they will be seen by more people because they're just trendier. You know, they have trendy sounds on it, a person is in it, which usually lets it get more views, etc. I also always get floor plans. I can't believe how many people do not get floor plans for their listings. I don't know if it's like the designer in me, but I just love the visual representation of the floor plan of the house, because some of the photos can get so confusing of like, where am I oriented in this house right now? And even like virtual tours and everything, I would much rather a floor plan. And you know, if anybody's thinking about doing a renovation on the house, the floor plan just makes it so much easier for them to imagine it, right? And have less questions. So like, why not make the buyer experience as easy as possible? I always do a floor plan, okay? Next thing up is an open house. So you can have a public open house and you can have a broker's open house. A lot of my clients are actually opting completely out of a public open house. They think it's a waste of time. They think it's an invasion of their privacy because they feel like the only people that are going to it are neighbors and looky-loos and snoopers. So I totally get it. Open houses also can hurt the value of your home. So I'll give you a perfect example. My one client said, I don't want an open house because when someone goes and views the house, they're going to scan the upstairs, they're going to scan the downstairs, they're going to go back upstairs, they're going to go outside, they're going to leave. I was like, yeah. She goes, well, in an open house, some people are going to be looking at the house in the basement while some people are on the main floor, and people are going to realize how noisy the basement is when someone's on the main floor. And I was like, hey, fair enough. We'll not do an open house, no problem. So those are the two common reasons that I see for no open house. If I am going to do a public open house, I think it is great to, you know, door knock to all the neighbors and be like, hey, I'm doing an open house at this house. This is the time, this is the date. If you, and like position it as like, if you know anyone who would love to move to your neighborhood, your family, your friends, come see the house, take photos, take videos, send it to them, or invite them, or introduce them to me, because I would love to show it to them. You know, because a lot of people, if they love their neighborhood, they want all their friends and family to live there so that they can hang out even more, right? And they don't need to like drive home afterwards, if you catch my drift. So that's what I would suggest for an open house. Also, if it's going to be a broker's open house, that's when you invite other realtors in the area and they come and see the house. I am a huge believer in community over competition and all of us being able to rise together. So I am not protective of my listings. I let every single realtor and broker in this region and beyond to share my listing, to take videos, to take photos, and send and like put it on their social media. Like, I don't need the ego boost of it being my listing. My job is to get the most return on investment for my sellers. And by not letting other realtors share that with all of their social media following is just decreasing the amount of eyes on the listing, which is silly, right? So I love to encourage other realtors to promote my listing. The last thing I'll say about open house is make it fun. Like, don't make it boring where like people aren't chatting and people aren't connecting. You know, I love the idea of if your house is within walking distance of an amazing bakery, get those baked goods into that house, into that open house, and talk that up. Imagine waking up on a Sunday morning and walking and getting these croissants. You can't. It's right over there, right? It's amazing. You know, maybe there's a food truck. Maybe there's make your own bouquet. There's so many ways to, you know, make it special and make it memorable. And people just have such a good feeling leaving your open house and they want to talk about it. And the more they talk about it, the more eyes that are on your house, and hopefully the more offers we get, and hopefully the more money you get, okay? The other thing that I'll say about open houses, I lied. There is one more thing, is getting feedback. I don't want to like poo-poo on people in my industry, but the amount of open houses that I've walked and barely been spoken to is amazing. Like, I think if there's going to be an open house, whether it's public or brokers, you could be like, hey, give me your most honest feedback. What do you love? What do you hate? Good, bad, ugly. Tell me everything. Because you want to start a dialogue with someone. And what if someone is working off of false information about your listing and you lost a chance to correct it? Or what if they're talking about all the things they love about it and someone else at the open house didn't even think about all those things? And they're like, wow, that's even more things to love about it. So keep an open dialogue. When it comes to a broker's open house, same thing, get feedback. Hey guys, what do you think about how I've listed the property, how I've marketed the property, how I've priced the property? You know, do you have any clients that would be interested? If you had to pick the perfect person to buy this house, like who would it be? Is there anything in the house where you're like, oh, that should have been repaired before listing? Like, get all of the feedback, use it, pivot, and use it to your advantage, okay? You can also do a lot of follow-up. I like to, you know, follow up if they've left their contact information, or if it's realtors who I know their contact information, etc., then I like to follow up, and maybe like outside of the house if I miss them or anything like that, or they've like talked it over with a partner or a parent or something and they've thought more about it, then you can follow up and you can get more information for the same reason that I stated for the open house. Creating open communication is kind of, you know, piggybacking off of the follow-up. So many times I'll show a property and you just get like this automatic thing from the showing system that says, hey, like, give me your feedback, like rate this house 1 to 5. So houses that I've had in the past that, you know, I think it could be a tough offer presentation day or not, you know, it just depends. So in the past, for example, especially if our market's just a little touch and go and we're not like hot seller's market, I think it's a great practice to actually like shoot a text or do a phone call to the realtors that showed the listing, because they're just more likely to chat things out than to like fill out those forms. They're honestly such a nuisance. People rarely fill them out. They just feel so cold, and there's not really great places to like expand what you're thinking. So if you're gonna give like a 3, you're scared to do it because you're like, I can't really expand or explain, and I don't have the time to type all this out. Like, it's better just to call. And what I like about creating that open communication is it also allows like a better rapport. You're building a rapport for offer presentation day, which is so important. So if they've never spoken to me and they have a question about closing, they're less likely to like reach out and talk about it than if we're already having a great texting conversation or we already had like a really friendly phone call. Then they're like, oh, don't worry about it, I'm gonna call Sharon, like we're gonna figure it out. You know, it's about building relationships and rapport with the people who are going to help you guys, help my clients, okay? All right, I promise that was the last thing about open houses. Canvassing the neighborhood, you know, it's the same premise of door knocking. Get some postcards out there that says this house is coming soon to the market. If you have any family or friends that you think this would be a good fit for, please give them this information. The last thing that I will say is having printouts at the door is so key. So when we list a house, you know, I ask you, what are all of the things that you love about this house? Or like, what have you improved about this house? If they're brand new appliances, if it's a new kitchen, if a bathroom was just redone, if you just finished your basement, if you just replace your furnace, your roof, etc. All of those things are so valuable, and it is saving people's money and is giving them so much confidence in buying your house that you've made these improvements, you've made these investments, and you deserve to get that back. That's put in the listing. However, sometimes people aren't great at reading everything in the listing. It is jam-packed full of information. Some people see 10 houses in a day and then choose which one they want to see. So if you have a list right at your entry place, wherever people are going to walk into your house, if you have a list printed out, all the things we love about this home, or all the things you're going to love about this home, or like, hi, welcome to 123 Main Street. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I just got a new roof. I just got new appliances. My homeowners have a professional cleaner that comes every Thursday. We love this house. There's a great coffee shop down the street we go to every Saturday. They have great scones. Like, that is gonna make the house memorable. That is gonna make anything that is quote unquote bad about the house less memorable. And people aren't going to miss it because of the long listing or a long day of showings, because it's a physical piece of paper they will pick up, they will read, they will, you know, refer back to as they're going room to room. If there's multiple people, they're going to be like, yeah, and that was updated. Oh, it was? Yeah, it's on the list. Oh, wow, that's amazing, right? It's just one of those things that is so easy, but so valuable. So highly suggest it. You're gonna list your property, but I would love to do one for you if you're gonna list with me. Okay, that's all I'm gonna go into today about selling a house in Kitchener-Waterloo with me. There's even more, as you can imagine, that we go over. However, we don't have all day. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to know more information about buying, selling, renovating, living your best life in Kitchener-Waterloo, definitely check out my blog, check out my website, sign up for my email newsletter. I hop on Instagram once in a while. It's linked all down below. And if you are listing, that means you're probably buying. So if you're buying here in Kitchener-Waterloo, you can fill out the form that I've linked below, and it's going to tell me all about you, so I can tell you where I think the best neighborhoods are for you in Kitchener-Waterloo. However, if you are leaving our beautiful city, I wish you great travels. And if you need a trusted advisor wherever you are going, please still reach out to me, because I would love to connect you with one of my trusted colleagues that I have all around the globe. Have a great day. Talk soon.